Let it ride. Let it ride. That's a joke that's going around in our work lately. It's just let it ride, no matter what it is. When we started talking about like gambling and stuff, that we would be like the type of people who like just won like 100 grand. It was just like, let it ride.
Oh my gosh.
Immediately lose it all. I don't think I would actually be that stupid, but also it would be pretty funny.
It would be pretty funny.
Like I look at the humor aspect. Is it smart? God no, but is it funny? Oh god, yeah.
It makes for the best memories.
Content.
Right.
So you got any fun plans for tonight?
Not tonight actually.
hello. Welcome one and all to the Tao Show. Today we have an absolutely amazing streamer, a white tiger VTuber, a blessing to us all, a legend who weighs nearly $1,000 to charity, a person who loves being terrorized by their community, and that is Ashley. I hope I said it right.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm excited.
That's great to hear. So let's just start off with the easy question. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Okay. My name is, well, my screen name is actually Ashley TV, but I usually just go by Ash. I am a white tiger VTuber. I am fluent in both English and Spanish. Yeah.
Very cool. I didn't know you were fluent in Spanish. Are you
Yeah.
when did you learn a lot of the Spanish? Where did you learn
Um,
Spanish, I should say?
so I'm Mexican, so Spanish was actually my first language.
Okay.
Mhm.
Very cool. So
Yeah.
what brought you over to the English side of things, the VTuber side of things, I should say, as an English VTuber?
Well, I live in the States now, and
Mhm.
so it was just kind of like natural to just grow up with a lot of like English stuff.
Mhm.
But as far as VTubing, I know I've always wanted to be like a content creator. Since I think like middle school, I always wanted to like make videos with like on YouTube, and then because I always like had friends that like would always be on screen with me, and we would always make videos when we were younger and stuff. And so growing up, I was like, yeah, no, the content creation, like, it's something that I would really love to get into. And VTubing ended up being something that I thought was super, super interesting because originally I was going to become a face cam streamer.
Mhm.
But once I discovered like VTube, I was like, this is cool. You can be an anime person online.
Mhm.
That is awesome. And so I just went into it, and here I am.
So you just like the idea of being like a faceless person instead of being a face person?
Yeah, I think like it'd be so cool to just be like a cool like anime character
Mhm.
online, and you don't always have to worry about like, oh, like when I get really focused in a game, do I look funny? Like, is my hair gonna be fine? Like today, it's
Mhm.
just like you just I don't know. It's just a cool thing to always just to always look like your favorite anime character online. I think
Honestly,
that's awesome.
honestly, at the end of the day, like VTubers are like one of the best things to do. Like especially if you don't
Mhm.
want to show your face, especially if you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah,
VTubers
it
give
keeps
you so much ability to do so many other things, which is mind blowing.
Yeah, and it's really like easy to like keep privacy, like be anonymous
Mhm.
online too, which is also like a really big thing because I am like a private person.
Mhm. Yeah, we obviously know she's like a 500-year-old lolly vampire. We all know that.
Yeah.
In real
Oh my
life,
gosh.
obviously.
Obviously, I'm
Obviously, she's no white
six
tigress.
eight.
Yeah, she's like 6'8". She's like the ultimate dami mommy. Don't worry. Nah,
Yeah, totally.
just in real life.
Yeah, don't tell everyone my secret now. Hold on now.
So with VTubers in general, what really got you into it? Because I know you mentioned that having the ability to do these things and stay private is one thing, but what other things gave you like the desire to become a VTuber?
So when I first discovered VTubing, it was I can't even remember. I think it was like scrolling on it was either YouTube Shorts or like TikTok or something, and it was like a clip of I can't even remember who it was, but it was like Hololive, like someone from Hololive from
Mm-hmm.
like their Japanese like creators, and I just there was like two of them on screen, and I was like, wait, this is kind of cool. And since from that video, like more like VTube clips started coming into my feed, and I was like, wait, this is really really cool. It wasn't until like I saw one creator that I thought was super super funny, and from there on, I was like, yo, VTubing looks sick.
It
Like you
looks
can
kind
be
of
anything
good.
you want, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I was like, you can be anything you want online, and like still be yourself, but like you
Mm-hmm.
look like super cool, and like I don't know, just that drew me in because I was like, you can be anonymous, like have your privacy, like IRL and then still like do what you love online with your friends and stuff while having like a cool anime character.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of you mentioned Hololive. Do you have any inspirations of being a VTuber?
It's actually an indie VTuber that inspired me a lot. His name is Kenji.
Okay.
He is definitely someone I like really look up to. And then also Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse is
Mm.
a Hispanic creator too, which I think that is like something that like meant a lot to me. And I was like, I want to be that. I want to be cool like that. Like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely Kenji, Iron Mouse, Magni, Desmond, from I think Hollow Live, Hollow Stars.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been a few of them. Magni was just recently, but definitely at the beginning of my career was definitely Iron Mouse and like Kenji.
Mm-hmm. So what brought you over to their streams in particular?
Um, I found Kenji on TikTok. I found him on TikTok. Like he was coming all over my page like all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. And so like when I checked him out, he was live. When I checked him, like when I checked his page, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh okay. And so I started watching him, and I was like he is like incredibly funny, and so I was like, this is so cool. And from there, from like starting off with Kenji, I started looking into other VTubers and um like Iron Mouse has been around like a really long time, and so I started watching her, and I was like, oh my god, wait, like this is cool. Like I love this, and so
Mm-hmm.
just from there, it just started spiraling into every VTuber.
I mean, sometimes it just is a never-ending spiral.
Hmm.
Once you see one, you can't get enough of them sometimes.
Yeah, you just go into the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of like VTubers, is there any specific VTubers that you have collabed with over the years that you have, well, over the past, like ever since you started streaming, that you have developed a big bond with at all?
Yeah, I have made a ton of friends about becoming a VTuber. Definitely ones I really want to shout out is Zane Adathos, Audio Sue, Hollow, Hyaku VT. Those are like ones that like on top of my head right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cackling Jackal VT. They've all become really close and very like important in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've spent so much time with all of them. Like there's so many names in my head, but like I don't think we have like 6 hours to name them all. But definitely I definitely appreciate them a lot. Ones who have helped me the most, like throughout my career, is definitely
Mm-hmm.
Audio Sue and Zane Adathos, and Hyaku VT. They have been there, like since we first became friends. Like from then on out, they've always supported me. And they've always helped me whenever I needed help.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I appreciate them the most out of all the friends that I have made.
So it's funny you brought up Zane, because I wanted to ask you, because I looked over on your Twitter and you did a lore, like a teaser lore,
Yeah.
and Zane helped voice in that.
Mhm. Yeah.
So what was the
Uh,
inspiration towards that, like the teaser of the lore?
so the teaser of the lore. So basically, before this model where I'm all bright and pink and everything, my character was an assassin, and it wasn't her choice. She was forced into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so ever since then, she like broke out of that, and like she's her own like free person now and everything. And so when I was getting ready to debut, I partnered with my friend Cackling Jackal VT to do an animation, and we kind of like threw out different ideas of to like how we want to represent her old life to her new life, like a new like
Mm-hmm.
opening new chapter. And so we started thinking, we're like, oh, what about like all the like negative thoughts, like how she used to be, how like all the bad memories of who she was, even though they don't represent her now, they're still lingering around.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know what? The perfect example would be like Zayn. Like Zayn, you know, he has a deeper voice and he
Mm-hmm.
has like that mysterious like thing to him. So I was like, I want him to represent like the deep like subconscious thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would like turn out super well. And so I asked him to partner with me and help me out with my debut, and he kindly did and like helped me, and then me, him, and Jackal, we all partnered up, and we made the lore teaser, which I think came out amazing, and I loved it so much.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I did watch it and it was really, really good. I love the
Thank
idea of it.
you.
You did a very
Thank
good job.
you. Thank
So,
you. I appreciate it.
do you have more lore coming out soon, or?
I do. I have like a whole like lore story.
Mm-hmm.
Not soon, just because I just debuted, you know.
Yeah.
So possibly maybe at the end of the year is when I'll probably be able to release it. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
excited for it. There's so many ideas. I just need to string them all along so I can have them like on a certain plot, you know.
That is the problem with YouTube, is you get so many ideas, but it's
Mhm.
so hard to kind of manage them all into one.
Right?
Just because, or even with stream, like some of the ideas I have for like stream or YouTube content is vastly different. For like
Yeah.
stream content, I like to do like challenge video type deal.
Mhm.
So if you ever seen like challenges such as like Dud Dug, or sometimes like even Point Crow, where you have a
Mhm.
stupid challenge. So say I'm playing Apex or Fortnite. Every time I die, I have to add a new layover to my OBS. I had to play through
Oh
OBS,
yeah, yeah,
and I have to
yeah.
do that constantly until I get a dub. Um, so that has been an idea. Or playing
Mhm.
Spider-Man like a full-blown like main story quest mission where I can't take damage, or play the entire game without taking damage, or stuff
Yeah.
like that. Make it challenging, make it fun.
Yeah,
Um,
that sounds really, really fun. It's super engaging too.
mhm. If I ever get bigger, play like Skyrim voice commands, but chat gets to try and trick me into saying certain words, stuff like that.
Oh yes, that
Like
sounds super, super cool.
I love doing those things, and I will love to do them
Yeah.
more. But
Mhm.
it comes down to I have to get to a certain level, but I'm never pushing myself to do that because I truly have. It isn't so much I don't have desire to go into full time content creation. I think I do. I would love to do it, but the issue is
Mhm.
I don't want to like completely go out of my way and put all my eggs into the basket. So if by some chance everything did pop off a little bit more, and like I started averaging a lot more viewers, a lot more people interacting, I would 100% do stuff like that. I
Yeah,
still
and I think that sounds awesome too.
I still have other challenge videos ideas that I have, such as that one, such as Skyrim ideas I have where I'm gonna complete most of the game on 1 HP. So
Mhm.
it's those type of fun but stupid ideas that I have.
Yeah, but also like it takes away from like normal just like playing the
Mm-hmm.
game through. Like yeah, it's fun just to like play through the game, but having challenges like that, it just like I don't know. It makes it much more interesting and much
Mm-hmm.
more exciting.
And with all these ideas in my head, I can't put them out onto a natural thing. So I'm just always speculating on how I'm gonna do this. Or like
Mhm.
YouTube videos, trying to script a video. I have an idea of what I want to do.
Yeah.
And just like
Mhm.
I have a Kaguya Sama video. I have an idea, but I don't know how to do the intro.
Oh, I know it's so hard. There's so
Mhm.
much that goes into it.
It's crazy sometimes. I
Mhm.
I'm just getting back into YouTube and Twitch and stuff a lot more, because I kind of just got over a couple things that've been going on in my life, and now I'm able
Mhm.
to kind of focus my head on this now
Yeah.
without worrying too much. I
That's
also
good. That's good that you're getting like back on track with it.
I also saw on Twitter you have a chibi model, correct?
Yes, I do. I do have a chibi model.
How was that?
Um, it's it was kind of like in the spur of the moment because
Mm-hmm.
I so when I first got my model, I had it for like months. Like I was not ready to debut at all. But it was finished earlier than expected,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like getting everything ready, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I have a model now, but I still have to like set up this and that and all this. And then I was scrolling late on Twitter one night, and I think it was my friend, one of my best friends, Upa. She sent me a link to like a chibi, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like really cheap, like for art and the rigging, and the art style was super cute. And so I was like, I was like, should I? And I was like, no. But it was so late at night, and I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. And so I messaged them without thinking. I was like, hey, I would love to commission you. And so it ended up happening. And so I was like, oh my god. I was like, I already have a model. Like now I have a chibi model. And so I was like, I don't regret it. I love it so much. I think it's super, super cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's one of my favorite things. I think it's super adorable.
Honestly, it's a very adorable model, and
Thank you, thank you.
honest, it might have been like just a spur of the moment, but gosh dang it, did it work out in the best for you?
Right? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, I may have like splurge a little bit, but it's
Just a little
useful
bit.
and I like it, so it's fine.
So I kind of want to go over the inspiration of your VTuber model a bit. So
Mhm.
what inspired you to be a white tiger VTuber?
You know, it's funny because before like the white tiger, my OC was a half bunny, half cat, which she basically looked like this. She had the same hair and everything, obviously different clothing, and then she had
Mm-hmm.
half like one long ear for the bunny and then a cat ear. And then I don't know, I just like didn't feel connected to it in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until last year. Last year was the year of the tiger, and that is my year. Like I am the year of the tiger. And I was in VC with a bunch of friends, and it was like the New Year's, and it was like, oh, year of the tiger. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm the year of the tiger. And my friend was like, oh really? And she like sketched me in like a tiger form, and then from that I was like, I need to rebrand. This is me. Like I like this. Like this
Mm-hmm.
represents me the most. Like it is my year. Like I am the year of the tiger. Like my Chinese zodiac is the tiger, and so I was like, it fits perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in elementary school I did a like a charity play for tigers, white tigers, because they were endangered. And so we did a play on white tigers to help like raise awareness for white tigers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, it's kind of funny that it like I did this in my life, and then now I'm like representing something that I wanted to protect, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so I just feel more connected to a white tiger, and yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, if we went off horoscopes, like Chinese horoscopes for myself, and that's my
Mhm.
VTuber model, I'll be a snake.
Oh my god, but that's cool though. There's been so many cool snake models. That would have been so fun.
I'm actually like secretly a snake. I'm a reptilian snake in
Yeah,
disguise.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah. You're Slither snake.
yeah. Hello, fellow humans. How you doing? I'm also here.
Oh, I love that.
So, what other inspiration came from wanting to like design your model around the white tiger, other than just that?
I don't know. I just
Or what I should say is your current design.
my current design.
Yeah. What gave you the
Yeah.
inspiration to make it the way you did currently?
So my hair, like the black with like the white bangs, is actually how I have my hair like IRL. Like this is how I have my hair.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I wanted the model to represent me like in a way like IRL as well. I didn't want to be completely different.
Yeah.
And so I took some inspiration for that, and then honestly, for the two colored eyes, I just couldn't decide which one I wanted. So I was like, I'm gonna take both. So I ended up doing two different colors. And before this outfit, I had so she was like an assassin, so she only wore black. And it was a really simple outfit. And then for like the longest time I was like, I don't like it. Like, I need something to pop out, something that is like pretty and like nice and like exciting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because an all black outfit, yes, it's like pretty, but it's just like I don't know, it doesn't represent me. Like I need something exciting because I'm very I'm very energetic and loud, and I just needed something like that to like represent my model.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the same Jackal VT that helped me with my lore, she also helped me with my design. We like spent like 6 hours. We were like, well, why don't we do this and why don't we do that, you know? Because I actually tried to change my model, like from a white tiger. I wanted to be something else. And while I was like rebranding, I was like, I can't get away from the white tiger. Like it feels wrong if I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
a tiger. And so I was like, maybe I'll just do a redesign for the outfit. And so we ended up working on it, and we ended up doing an outfit that I'm like completely so in love with. And so after like endless hours of working on it, I was finally happy with something that represented me
Mm-hmm.
and that made me happy. And I don't know, I love her. I don't ever want to change her again.
Honestly, that actually brought a smile on my face. I love it whenever people are passionate about something, whenever people are excited about something, or enjoy what they do. That actually like, makes my day a lot better than most people
Oh,
do. So just hearing
oh,
that
I
warmed
love
my
that.
heart a bit.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, on top of like being an SM VTuber, you also do amazing streams on top of that. Such as, like I
Thank
said earlier,
you.
you did a charity for Games for Love, where
Yeah.
you made nearly $1,000 to charity, which is a big number.
Yeah.
What gave you the idea to even pursue a charity stream?
So one of the partners actually reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, like we were watching your like I was watching your stream, and it was when I was streaming like Cult of the Lamb. He's like, it's so funny, like how you ran it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to talk to you about a charity." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "Whenever you have free, let's get in a Discord call." So I got in a call with him, and he kind of explained what the charity was for and like what soft giving, or sorry, what Games for Love is. And honestly, like I loved it because Games for Love is an organization that brings like games and joy back to kids in hospitals who like don't have access to the outside world, that need to
Mm-hmm.
be like need to stay in the hospital. And like, he said that when COVID came around, it like hit them really hard, because they barely had any visitation from their family and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and so they had games to rely on. And honestly, like I think that was like something that I really loved, because when I was a kid, I was hospitalized, and like I remember how it is like just to be in the same like four walls
Mm-hmm.
surrounding me all the time, just being bored out of my mind. And with like these games, it brings like joy to the kids to kind of like spend time and like not only think about your sickness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so also the guy that I was talking to, he was so real about everything. And like, because I did tell him, I was like, "Oh, I like I curse a lot and I'm like chaotic." And he's like, "We don't want you to change the way you are. Like, don't like think you need to like change your stream or anything. Like, we picked you for you and like how you ran your stream." And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Okay, like yeah, sure."
You
And
know,
it was
screw
my
it.
first yeah. I was like, "Okay, well, you guys said it." And it was my first charity stream ever too. So I was like, why not? Let me try it out. It's a great cause, and it will be a great experience, and it will be fun for like
Mm-hmm.
me and like all my viewers as well.
So I think I know the answer to this already, but would you ever do it again?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would love to do it again. I think for next time I would probably like do it on my own terms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just because like I have such a crazy schedule, I never know when things are gonna change.
Yeah.
And so having to work on someone else's schedule was kind of difficult, just because like things came up. Like the day of my charity stream, my power went out. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my god." And so I would like to work on my own schedule on my own terms, just so I like have enough time to figure things out if I ever screw anything up and like need to fix it. So yeah, I would definitely love to do another charity again.
I mean, that's most definitely a reasonable thing to do, is just be able
Hmm.
to do it on your own terms. I think
Yeah.
that's, I mean, either way, you're still doing it for charity, which is remarkable. Um,
Yeah.
I always like people doing it for charity whenever they get the chance. I always like supporting whenever I can. Um, it just, I truly love when people actually like do stuff like this, make
Yeah.
fun content out of a charity stream. Like you see people like
Hmm.
Jacksepticeye make a big charity event, and they're so fun to watch. Not
Yeah.
only is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
supporting a great cause, not only is it like you feeling good about doing like donating, they also make it entertaining for you to watch. They give you incentives, be like, hey, if you do this, you can get a signed like
Mm.
piece of God of War over here. And I'm over here like, oh god, yes, take all my money for that.
You're right. It's like, what? I want to keep watching this. Donate,
Hmm.
donate, right?
Or you have like Jack Black and Jacksepticeye playing Jenga, and that was hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I think that's like the best way to do it. Is just have fun. Like,
Yeah, and it's fun for the streamer,
Mm-hmm.
fun for the viewers, and for a great cause. I don't know. I was like, it's a no-brainer. This is awesome.
But not even like a week later, you did a 12-hour stream on top of that.
Yeah, I did. Um, so it was supposed to be a 24-hour stream. So the reason
Mm.
why I did such a long stream is because I was going on vacation for 8 days,
Mm-hmm.
and like I always feel so bad leaving my chat. Like it makes me so sad because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be away from them for so long, you know. So like 8 straight days of like no streams, no content, or like anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was a vacation definitely that I needed, and also I was celebrating a friend's birthday as well.
Mm-hmm.
So so I was like, you know what, for one last stream before I like leave for vacation and stuff, I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream. It was supposed to be 24-hour, but I was like, I have so much to do tomorrow before I like leave to my trip the next day. I was like, I'll do a 12-hour. So I did a 12-hour. I opened up a new Minecraft server for my community as well because a new Minecraft update came out. And so I was like, you know what, this all plays well. I'll do a 12-hour stream. I'll open up the new server to my community. We'll celebrate one more time before I have to leave. And so that's basically why I did it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a good reason. Just having fun with your community.
Yeah.
Have you ever done one before, like a 12-hour, 24-hour stream?
Yeah, the day that I debuted was my first 24-hour stream, and I ended up doing 30 hours. So, it was a lot, but it was also really, really fun because I like it was like different things like throughout the whole stream. Like at 4 a.m. we started doing puzzles. 6 a.m. we were playing rafts. So
Holy
really
cow!
fun. Yeah, so there were so many things that we were doing together, and it was really, really fun. The next day I was completely dead. I was like 30 hours. Oh my god, what was I thinking? But it was the first time I was debuting, and I wanted to like, you know, celebrate with my chat, with the community, with new people and everything. So I was like, you know what, it's worth it. And my chat does a thing whenever I leave. They start crying and they're like, no, don't leave. I'll be streaming for 8 hours. And they're like, you're leaving already? I'm like, what do you mean already? Like, it's been 8 hours. They're like, you're L wording, you're L wording. L wording means like leaving. And so I'm like, oh my god. And so they like, they like pressure me to stream longer. So I'm like, okay.
You can go another 8 hours. Come on. It isn't that hard.
That's exactly, you sound like my chat. That's what they always say. They're like, really? Like, only 8 hours? I'm like, oh my god. Alright, let me load up League. Get in here. Like,
well, I'm getting upset. 8 hours? You can go another one. And then here's me. Okay, guys, it's been 2 hours. See you later.
Oh my god, they would like come to my door with pitchforks. Like, what the heck? And I'm like, okay. Because usually if I say, oh, this is going to be a short stream, my short streams end up being like 4 hours. So I'm like, I don't know. I love spending time with them, you know, and they make me feel not guilty, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave you guys. Never mind. Okay, I'll stay.
I think the longest stream I've ever done was 24 hours. I would never do it again.
Really?
I don't want to. It would take a lot of stuff to actually do it. I don't remember what I did it for. I don't remember. Either A, they hit a goal, or it was for some charity event I was part of.
Oh, okay. Right.
It was one of the two. But
yeah,
I would never do it again.
Right.
I think
it's hard.
I think it was around 6 a.m. I passed out.
Oh, no.
I passed out for 30 minutes until someone came into my headphones and started blasting like stuff in my ear.
Oh my god. Dig. Yeah, it's hard. Like 24 hours is hard.
I think I can do it now. But back then, I was just not prepared for it. I can do 12 hours pretty decently, still. I've done 12 hours before.
Hours is a lot, too. Yeah.
I think 12 hours is pretty simple. Go from one 10 o'clock to another 10 o'clock. But 24 hours, Jesus.
Right?
It's like subathons. I will never understand why people want to do subathons. Those are freaking nightmare fluid.
Yeah. I know that when my friend is in the subathon right now, and I think she's on like day 40, and I'm like, oh my god. Not only would I not last, my computer would like die on me in like 10 days.
I think my computer would last. I wouldn't last. I think I would last. If I had to be honest, if I made this a career and I did a subathon that lasted 30 days, I would probably be in 1 point crying mode.
Right? It's like, you know what? I can't do this. I gotta go.
I would probably take 2 hours away from chat and be like, hey, I'm gonna go watch this movie real quick.
Right?
Content. It's for content, Chad. Don't worry. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch it. And we'll review about like how bad this movie was or how great this movie was.
Right?
I do that all the time. There's sometimes some of my favorite rants come from me watching like a movie out of nowhere. Like I think one of my favorite things is I love ranting sometimes, especially on stream. Those come across as so much fun, especially if I am really heated about something.
You
So
should be a lawyer.
my biggest ones that I think were the funniest was when I went on a rant about Morbius. Because I went and saw that in the theaters and I freaking hated myself afterwards. Because it was a terrible movie. It wasted my time and money. So the entire time I'm crying because I wasted my money on it. And I'm like, this is such a terrible movie. I almost got nauseous because the fight scenes were terrible.
Oh my god.
And then, have you watched Attack on Titan?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, you know Miche, right?
Yeah.
When he died, that's another thing that triggers me so heavily.
Yeah, it was hard.
His death, I don't know how many rants I went on. I think it's been 5 now that I went on rants about his death. And it's like the same rant for 30 minutes straight. It's the funniest thing ever.
Right?
And it goes on and on and on. And like,
It's just you're so passionate about it, you know?
yeah. I mean, if I dislike something, another rant that happened was when I rant about JJK and Demon Slayer. Because I feel like they're similar to me in ways. Like, I like the anime better than the manga. The story seems about similar to me. And I enjoy watching them both equally.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I have similar opinions on them, My Hero. I go on rants about Awful One. It's a lot of fun rants.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of fun, you know, just arguing with other points and stuff.
Hey, it's for content.
Yeah, that also people love.
Mhm.
Love when people like are passionate about things and they talk about it like hours on end.
So is there anything that you would go on a long rant about if someone prompted up something? So say if you were to talk about, say, I'll say Miche, I go on a long rant. Is there anything that's similar to that for you?
I don't know. There's like, ooh, I can't think of anything that I'm like super passionate about to like go on like hour-long rants. There's a lot of things I really like, but like, honestly, after like 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, let's talk about something else. I'm bored, like, because my ADHD is like, you know what, focus on something else, and I'm like, okay, like, so I don't think there's anything that like I'm like super like crazy about. Like I love Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is like my top favorite anime ever. So I'd probably like try to defend that one as much as I can. Yeah, but there's not something I'm like super like passionate about to rant about for so long, I think.
I mean, it's not for everyone. I think for myself, I just enjoy it because it just makes for funny content at the end of the day. You just got... I look at a lot of things I do as like, oh, content.
Right? Yeah. It's just like in your brain, like, oh, content?
You have like some people like, oh, money. And then here's me, content?
Right?
I can steal.
Like, this looks funny. I'm taking it.
This is mine now. I loved, I did an episode with Evan Nito. And we went back and forth one time because we started talking about like challenge ideas and stuff. So I talked about an idea. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna steal that." I'm like, "Oh, go for it, go ahead." And then he mentioned something. I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna steal that."
Right? It's like, you know what? Snatched my idea now.
we both just steal each other ideas. I think that'd be hilarious. Like I do all his ideas, he does all mine.
He does yours. That would be funny. It'd be a funny exchange.
Like, turns out I'm actually just a just chatting streamer now, and he does all my challenge videos.
Right? That would actually be so funny. I would love to see that.
Who knows? Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I guarantee you, there was a couple ideas I said that he thought was really good that he's 100% going to be doing.
Ooh,
which I think is hilarious.
That's fun. Right.
So I think one thing I wanted to point out, because you mentioned about how back when you were doing a VTuber model, you didn't like the black outfit as much as now.
Mhm.
And that actually brings me to a question regarding on Twitch. One thing I like to ask a streamer or a content creator in general is when you look back on yourself, from when you first started to now, how do you feel about your past self? And if you were to go back in time, what type of things would you tell your past self?
Well, I only started VTubing of September last year,
Mm-hmm.
so it's been about like 8-9 months now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when I first started off, I like I just kind of did it like out of a spiral because I've been wanting to stream for like the longest time, but something just like stopped me from pressing the go live button. It was until like a friend like spoke to me and they're like, just do it. Like, what are you afraid of? And I'm like, you know what? You're so right. Like, I'm just gonna do it. And so one day I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go live. And so I went live, and a lot of people were there. They're like, Ash, what? You're streaming? And I'm like, oh, hey guys, like, what's up? And it was so scuffed. But when I first started off, I did a lot of Nintendo Switch games, like, you know, Smash Bros, Mario Kart. I did a lot of those in the beginning. And the reason why I did that a lot is because I liked playing with other people, like people in my community. And honestly, like, still to this day, I still play with my community. I still do a bunch of Smash or Nintendo games or any multiplayer games. I still invite my community members to come play with me. And so I don't know, like, I feel like I'm still the same as I was 8 months ago. Like, obviously, like, making more content and stuff. But I still play with my community. I still play games that they can join in on. Because I don't know, just whenever I play games, my goal is to play with my friends. I don't like playing by myself. And so I always just turn back to my chat. I'm like, hey, who wants to join? Like, you know, because obviously, like, I have a lot of like other streamer friends and stuff that I can call up. And I'm like, you know what, you guys are right here. Like, come join me, you know. And I don't know, just whenever I stream, I always stream for my chat, for my community. Like, I love streaming and playing with them. And so I usually play any game that they like ask me to, and they always like join in, like, and I don't know, I'm still the same as I was like 9 months ago. And I think I'm still always gonna be the same, where I want to do things to make other people happy, and like obviously me happy as well. But I still want to play with like my community members all the time and stuff. Like, obviously I do collabs, but most of the time I just play with my chat, which I think is gonna be something I'm gonna always do.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to what you do, you're very passionate about what you like to do. And mostly, like, not everyone has to change. Like, in terms of like content, like, you can stay the same, have the same self. I think like the biggest change that comes from like doing for even 8 months is confidence. To be able to do what you do now, because you're more confident in your abilities. You know what you can do. And you won't have like the same. Not everyone's gonna have like the same content difference like I did. My content has differed from years ago. I started streaming about 3 years ago now, and I started YouTube around 4 years ago. I never really pursued it as like careers or anything like that. They were just mainly hobbies, but a lot of my content has changed. You'll never see a video that I made from 4 years ago, 'cause I deleted them all. But a lot of that has changed. Like, my content has went from more of a serious tone to a lot funnier, where I talk about my opinions. My Twitch channel went from me like doing this podcast and just playing Apex to me doing this podcast and challenges, like just having fun, doing collabs with people on Twitch, just having fun. And that's more or less how I looked at it. I looked at it for a standpoint of like, I just want to have fun. So I stream when I want to have fun. I collab with people when I want to have fun. It just,
I think that's the most important thing to come to streaming too, is just having fun.
Which is why I just prefer streaming at the moment. I enjoy streaming. I enjoy doing YouTube. I love making thumbnails, love making scripts, even though they're hard. Like, don't get me wrong. Like coming up with an
Right,
intro
right,
sometimes that isn't the same intro as like 2 videos ago is hard.
right.
So kind of, let's go a little bit away from Twitch and stuff, because I know we focus a lot on Twitch. And I wanted to go into some more personal stuff.
Okay.
What do you do for fun? Outside of like streaming.
I know this is like such a basic answer, but I love playing games with my friends. Like on stream, off stream. I just like even before we started this podcast, I was playing Minecraft with a bunch of my community members.
Let's go.
That or like even like watching things together. Like I just I always love being like with my friends. Like I'll spend hours on end watching Gordon Ramsay with my friend, or we'll pull up some Ludwig videos and watch that together. We'll watch anime together, play games, different games with each other. We'll have like the DGen 4 a.m. Valorant games. But if it comes like outside of like technology based, I do really like traveling. It's a very expensive thing, but I like to go out and explore and adventure as much as I can. As much as I can afford as well. So I don't know. I just try to find any opportunity to adventure out if I have the chance to.
I think it's funny you mentioned Gordon Ramsay, because I immediately went back to like my workplace, because there was a meme going on at our workplace for some reason, where I don't know where this came from, but all of a sudden I just hear at work, and the basic price of the bass is fucking raw.
Right?
And I died laughing. I know exactly what the clip's from, and I died. I love Gordon Ramsay to death.
It's so good. It's like it's fucking raw, and then just food being flung across the room. It's so funny to watch.
What are you? An idiot sandwich? Yes, chef.
An idiot sandwich? Yes.
Get the frick off my stage. Take off that shirt.
Right?
It's not my shirt, actually.
Oh, it's so funny. I love Gordon Ramsay. It's so funny.
Gordon Ramsay is so much fun. And I love how
I love it. Like, spend hours just watching.
I do love how you mentioned you love hanging out with friends. That's very similar to me. Like I mentioned, I love hanging out with my friends.
Like even if it's we're just like kind of doing our own thing, like in silence. It's just like nice having like a presence there. Because some of the times like I'm working on like things for like I'm editing or like I'm doing other things, and I'll just like be in call, like silent. We'll all be silent, just kind of doing anything, just like chilling with each other, which honestly is like really fun too, you know.
Just vibing.
Yeah.
That's very understandable. I enjoy that too. Sometimes just hanging out, like we'll be in silence, but I'm over here just editing, or I'm just playing Diablo.
Right.
Suffering myself there.
I know, right?
I actually recently I've been playing hardcore mode on Diablo, and I hit level 45 and then I died.
No, that's so tragic.
So I'm gonna be going to just regular mode after that. But probably not. I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna go right back to hardcore mode, because I know myself too well. Because my character is pretty much, I ain't no bitch, I'm doing this shit.
Right? I mean, you always gotta do challenges.
Just like, even when it came to those like scenarios, every time I've ever died, I did have a slight chance of being able to escape. But my mentality is just like, I ain't no bitch, I'm staying. I die.
It always gets you in trouble too. It's so funny.
I remember like every time, like I've gone, I think it was one time I instantly stepped into a dungeon, and 2 of the dungeons I instantly stepped into the boss room on accident, not realizing, so I had to fight the boss.
Oh my
and I'm over here like,
God,
oh
that's
god.
amazing. Right?
But then
You just suddenly trip into a boss battle, like what
wait, hold up. And that causes immense sadness.
Right?
Another thing I want to ask you, in terms of like, you've mentioned community. Have you ever thought about going to like a convention and doing like a meetup at all?
Yeah. I am going to TwitchCon this year, and I'm very excited. I'm not sure, like, I'm not sure if the meetup just
Hmm.
I am like a small like VTuber and stuff, but I would love to meet like anyone who is planning going. I would love to meet them. Like I know I'm meeting up with a bunch of like other VTuber friends.
Hmm.
But if any of my community members are there, I'm gonna be so ecstatic. Like I love meeting people. Like I love like I traveled out just this past week to go visit two VTube friends.
Hmm.
Um so I'm very excited. So yeah, TwitchCon in October is when I'll be going, and I'm super excited for it.
I think I'm going to one convention this year, and it's only for a day.
Mm.
I'm, I got convinced by 3 people to go, and it's in my state. Um,
Oh,
I'm going to meet Trua and a couple other friends.
fun! Oh, that's exciting, and even better when it's in your own state. You don't have
Yeah,
to spend that much on like tickets and
it's
stuff.
an
So
hour
that's
and
super
30 away
cool.
from me too, so it's like
Oh, that's
a
not too
nice
bad.
drive.
Yeah.
Isn't as bad as Massachusetts. That's a hefty 13-hour drive, baby.
Right. Oh my god. But hey, that's cool. You get to save like plane ticket money because plane
Hmm.
tickets. Whew, whew.
I will say, next year, I do plan trying to make it to a couple conventions.
Yeah.
Probably like Anime Expo, maybe.
Yeah. There's been a lot of conventions this year, which I was like sad I wasn't able to go visit, but just because I have so many other plans tripped up,
Hmm.
okay, I am not a millionaire. Let me not plan all these trips and act like I'm one, you know. So, but
Hmm.
I'm very excited for TwitchCon because I did go last year and I did meet like a bunch of friends, and so I'm excited to go again and meet more friends.
I know. I think it's in August. I start my full-time job completely, and I'll still be
Mhm.
working my temporary job. So my full-time job is a little bit less hours conducing because it is based off my own hours.
Right.
Um, and that's real estate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So with that, once that kind of takes off a little bit more and I start making more money, that's gonna be going towards like my personal life of like moving out, that type of stuff, paying off whatever bills I gotta do. And then my other money is going to my savings account so I can go on vacations.
Right. Right. It's
so
like,
if,
oh, I need that break.
so if I'm able to go to like Anime Expo, that would be fun. Hang out with some
Mhm.
people. I, I'm hoping that like the cast of One Piece Marines are there, which is like Brigo, Rustage, Lost Paws, Tekken,
Yeah.
Spooky. I want to meet a
That would
couple
be
of these
super
people.
cool. Yeah, that
Um,
would be awesome.
because I know last year I went to Anime North. I met a lot more people than I thought I would ever meet. Um, I met Briggs. I
Mhm.
met Rustage, and then I met 3 people I didn't know were there. I met Onigiri, Girl
Right.
DM, and
Yeah.
who's the other one? Forget the other one. There's another one. But I will say they barely knew who I was. I think
Mhm.
only Onigiri kind of recognized me a bit.
Mhm.
Just because I do remember we were in like chats a couple times, and I have interacted with her several times. I think Girl DM
Right.
had some knowledge of me, but the other one I
Mhm.
don't think did. And the entire time I wasn't even like saying hi or anything. I was just over there like in silence. 'Cause I didn't really want to disturb anything.
Mhm.
Because I was pretty much just there with Briggs, and I'm just like, well, he's my ride right now to my
Right.
hotel. I kind of
Yeah.
have to just sit here and act awkwardly for a bit.
Right. I'm like,
So it's just like, okay, this is new. I don't
mhm.
think I've ever interacted with these people before, so I'm gonna just say, hey, okay, bye, type deal.
Right.
But it was fun.
That's cool though. You met some people. That's awesome.
I enjoy doing fun trips. There is
Yeah.
there is times where it does go south. Like Otakon did go south for me. I had a
Mhm.
massive panic attack, and I regret going to that one because I was not ready. Um,
Oh yeah.
and I feel bad because I think because of that, a lot of the friends I went with, um, they miss it. They want to go back to
Mhm.
that day. Well, not that specific day, but that weekend. And
Yeah.
me, it's completely opposite, where I just want to like go back and just spat myself in the freaking face, say no,
Right.
don't go,
Right.
because that was
Oh,
like a
that's so
last minute
unfortunate.
decision too to even go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I was also making decent amount of money to be able to do a last minute decision like
Mhm.
that. But that's
Well, hopefully next time's experience is a lot better.
I hope so. And that's why I kind of want to go into the next set. I'm gonna use a Pang Attack. I know it's weird, as a transition into rough times.
Okay.
So I know you said you only started content creation for about 8 to 9 months now. Have you ever experienced something called roadblock yet?
You know, I actually haven't. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm a crackhead, and
Mm-hmm.
I love streaming. Like, when I was on vacation, I was like, what if I just bought a gaming laptop and stream? You know, because my mind is always on like work mode. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you could be streaming this, and I'm like, shut up. Like, still, like, enjoy your time. So thankfully, I have not hit a roadblock yet, and I hope I don't, or even if I do, I hope I find out a way to like get over it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't know, like I said before, I love spending time with my community, playing games with them all the time. Um, so I don't know, I love streaming. I really do. It's one of my favorite things that I've ever done.
I feel like in terms of like streaming and Twitch, it's very hard to hit a roadblock. I have noticed.
Hmm.
My roadblocks are usually whenever I feel demotivated to do it. Which does
Right.
happen. I do feel demotivated to make content or have issues just because other things
Yeah.
has come up. Um, but it's usually for YouTube for me, just because I constantly want to make a better script from the last. I want to constantly kind of keep myself going on. Um, but the issue is that sucks sometimes because I put a lot of pressure on myself to make a good intro. If an intro does not work for me, I will scrap that video
Right.
because I think I've scrapped a total of 25 videos now
Oh dang.
because I couldn't get the intro right or I didn't like the script.
Right.
I know I think it was a 4th of July video I did it for. I was gonna do a Code Geass Lelouch video. I
Mhm.
ditched that video because I hated it. Bleach, I ditched it because I couldn't get the intro right. I couldn't get the things right. I ditched Konosuba
Yeah.
video because I couldn't get the intro right. Um, it's stuff like that. There's numerous other examples that I don't remember exactly, like what they were for, or I had problems with it. But it's always that where I hit a roadblock because I don't want to
Yeah.
be like I did the previous one. I don't want to just constantly say, "Oh, this character can actually be Goku." Ha, funny, right?
Right.
But it's something that does happen, and I'm happy you haven't hit one. But it is still hard not to get drained by content.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there is times, like, even if you're excited to do content, there's sometimes you just don't feel the energy to do it because you don't want to. I think for some people, they don't want to give off a less than full self. Some
Hmm.
people don't want to stream when they're not energized. They don't want to stream when they're sick because they want
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah.
They want to give their best self constantly, but sometimes they feel like they have to, um, which
Yeah.
stinks. But that is content creation for you. If you
Yeah.
take one day off, you could end up losing a bunch of stuff, which could hurt.
Hmm.
But I am happy you haven't hit one. They
Thank
they
you.
they do suck.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I know that at one point I probably will hit it. Because
Mhm.
there have been times where I'm like, I'm gonna stream, but just like not feeling good. You know, like my
Mhm.
energy is so low, and like for that most of the times I do like tell my chat, I'm like, hey, like no stream today. Like I don't feel the greatest. And like obviously like if the stream is like if I'm not my regular self like on stream, I'm like afraid it will affect my chat as well, and like it won't be as fun for everyone.
Mhm.
Even they say all the time they're like we don't care, like you take your time, like do the most
Mhm.
chill stream if you need to, like it's completely fine, like we understand. But I'm still like I don't know, like you guys deserve like a fun stream like all the time, you know, as much as I can. So it's better if I just like don't stream today,
Mhm.
stream tomorrow when I'm in better like in a better spot, you know. And so there are times where I do that, but where if I go like days on end where I'm like, no, I don't want to stream. I just like I'm not feeling it. That has not happened to me yet, and I'm
Mhm.
thankful for it.
So one other thing I want to bring up is something I know that happens to VTubers quite a bit, um, for different reasons, and that is comments. This goes for a lot of people, including myself,
Mm.
where people go through rough comments from people where for VTubers it could be overly sexualizing their model or overly
Yeah.
sexualizing your character, making very rude comments about you. I, do you ever get those?
I thankfully I haven't gotten as much, but I did get my first one. I think it was during my debut. So, like this chatter came in and they're like, "Oh, you're at 1K and you're barely debuting." And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yeah, like I've been streaming for a bit and I hit 1K and my debut stuff was ready, so I debuted." And he was like, "Oh, I should probably get more padding." And I was like, "Padding? What do you mean by that?" He's like, "I need to get booba to get clout." And I was like, "Dude, what? No, like that is not at all like what this
Mm-hmm.
is. Like my PNG, you couldn't even see like the chest of my PNG. Like I was just a normal person. I was like, people are not here
Mm-hmm.
because like my model has like booba. Like I'm pretty sure people are here because of like the personality and stuff. Like I don't know. It makes me so sad that there's so many people that attack like any streamer. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, like you only have these followers because you're pretty," or like
Yeah.
like your voice is nice. That's why they're here. It's like, no, dude. Like that's what you see people as. Like you judge for them for how they look and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the first like negative comment I ever had. And I'm thankful that I haven't had more. But that one I was just like, what? Like, people actually have this mentality? Like,
Yeah.
you're so weird, dude. Like, go get out of here. Go, just go do something. Go get a job. Like, what are you doing? Like, so when that happened, I did like message my moms. I'm like, hey, like, just keep an eye on them. But they like my moms are so amazing. They already like were on track with him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he just like continued being weird, he was like, oh, let me in the game. Like, kick out your other like community members out of the game. Let me join. And I was like,
Let me
you know what,
join.
like,
I know
yeah,
it's
I
a
was
dip,
like,
but let me
dude,
join.
right?
I
I
need
was like,
clout. I need clout. God dang it.
no, literally, I was like, you're so weird. And so I just told my mom, I was like, bonk him, like, get him out of here.
I,
And so yeah, so it was weird. I was like, dude, like, why?
I think for myself, my comments are usually on YouTube or DMs. I never really get rude comments on Twitch, which I'm very shocked about. Um, I have a part paralyzed tongue, which is one of my biggest issues. That was one of my biggest motivators to even starting YouTube and Twitch was because of this. Because I didn't want to mispronounce stuff. I didn't want to sound terrible. Because to me, I was just
Yeah,
like, my voice sounds terrible. I don't want to be made fun of. That hurts. Um,
yeah.
and I got lucky that no one really did. But that doesn't mean there hasn't been stuff like that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
For myself in particular, the one I like to bring up a lot that has happened to me quite a bit is death threats.
What?
Which, and it's been My Hero fans.
Oh my god,
Be-
not the My Hero Academia fans.
so I've had 2 videos that blew up.
Mhm.
One of them was called My Hero Academia Sucks. And it was me going over some of the fights. And that one, of course I was getting some triggering from My Hero fans. But god dang, were they like about to knock down my door type threats.
Dude,
Like,
they're crazy.
I got DMs on Twitter. But I think the worst one I had was recently. It was in April. I was going through a little bit more of a confidence issue at this point, and a lot of other things were going up. And I just get this random DM from someone. Never heard of them. And it was pretty much them talking. They're like, you made this video, right? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, you should check it out, or I'm gonna come after your family, yada yada. I'm like, wait, what? What the fuck? Like,
hold up.
And I flat out said, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's just like, well, if you don't take it down, I'm gonna come after your family. I'm like, oh, if you come after my family, the police is gonna be waiting right by my door.
Right?
Like,
what?
Because the video is titled "How My Hero Academia Needs to End," and I talk about that I want Deku to die.
Mhm.
not for a vendetta that I hate Deku. It's because I think it would be a thematic ending, and they want me to take it down or they'll kill me and my family because I wanted a fictional character to die, and I couldn't stop laughing. Because that just tells you how terrible some people are and how many people need to touch some grass, god damn it.
Literally, like, dude, like, are you kidding me? They don't know who you are. They don't
They
know
really
you.
don't.
They're a fictional character. Like, that is so terrible. No matter what the situation, you should never threaten
Oh
someone,
god,
like,
no.
for family or anything. That's horrible. Oh my god.
You don't mess with my family, Dominic Toretto's gonna come after your
Right?
ass.
Right?
I should have said that. You come after my family, Dominic Toretto's waiting by the door.
No, literally. That's so bad. I'm sorry you had to go through that. That is
I really-
horrible. I know academia fans are something else, dude.
I'm at the point where it doesn't bother me too much. Like, that one was a weird case. I was just like, it made me laugh. But it was very like, okay, I can't take this threat lightly, but also, I'm gonna take it lightly because
Right, yeah.
my assumption of this guy is this some guy who is a twig. So,
Yeah.
I probably can come over and knock them down with a breath and they'll cry to their mothers.
Yeah, no, literally, like they're just keyboard warriors, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
they're never like a real threat.
And unless some buff guy shows up, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? You're so right. Ducky's best character ever. I'm
You know
so
what?
sorry,
I'll
buddy.
take you down right now. Actually, my
Okay.
hero, greatest anime of all time.
I was actually hacked. I don't believe any of this. Like my fault, sir. Like,
Actually, this is all defaced. Some guy stole my voice.
yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go get a Deku tattoo right now.
Let me get this Deku tattoo real quick. No one know. So, I kind of want to end the podcast off with one final question,
Mhm.
and that is future plans. I like to always end a stream with people telling me their future of
Mhm.
streaming. What is some of your future plans you want to do by the end of the year?
Oh god, it's like one of the worst questions for me because I'm someone who doesn't really like plan things. Like I
Mhm.
don't have a streaming schedule. I don't think I'll ever have a streaming schedule because it works for a lot of people, not for me. Because there are times where, like I said before, like my schedule is always so crazy. If something comes up, I feel bad if I have to cancel. You know, like, oh, like you said you were gonna stream today. I'm like, I know, but I had something come up, you know, and like I'll feel like so terrible.
Mhm.
So when it comes to future plans, or like even like still to this day, I press go live and I'm like, oh, I don't have a plan. Let's do this, like, you know. So I have some things that I'm working on right now behind the scenes. Like obviously, like I spoke about this earlier, but I do want to work on like a lore animation. But again, that is not gonna be for like months, right? Because I did just debut and I planned so much for debut. And so now after debut, I'm like, okay, now what, you know? And so right now, everything that I'm working on for the future right now is I want to start making YouTube videos. I've been pushing out TikToks. I'm gonna continue that because TikTok has been really, it's actually been really fun. Like I do enjoy making the TikToks even though it takes so many hours. But I do want to get into more YouTube content, you know, and my lore animation, and then I do have like other things like planned that I can't really like talk about it because then it just ruins the surprise. So there are definitely some other things I want to do because I just want to grow more with outside platforms and, you know, make my community bigger and just have more fun and more content creation for my community to enjoy and stuff. So right now, all I can say is more YouTube content and just more content outside of Twitch and some behind the scenes stuff that I can't share, but I hope to soon.
So there is behind the scenes stuff, chat. That's what you should be happy about. There's more things coming. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for inviting me. It has been super amazing.
I hope you had a good time. I hope this gives you some fun ideas for a podcast. I hope I was a good starting podcast for you.
You have been. It's been so great.
Well, for anyone wondering, I'm now taking questions from chat. So if you have any question you want Ashley to answer, ask away. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. In terms of the YouTube video, thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I seriously appreciate it.
Any final words for chat before
Thank
the
you guys
questions?
for, just thank you guys for always supporting me and being there and hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you.
And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.